All right, hey you guys, Shay Niche here. Thank you for stopping by my channel, Shay Love Hair. Welcome to memberships. Like, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. So this is a request video. This video was requested by one cute fox over there on Instagram. It's Linda. She be crocheting like all day. So she asked me about how to make installs quicker. So let's talk about it. Okay, so Miss Linda, I have been thinking about this stuff I got notes now. I'm sorry, I got a little water damage stuff on my little sticky note and stuff from the sweat off my cup or whatever. Having a little think juice, you know what I'm saying? But got me some notes here, and it's so many. Like, that is such a open question. Like, it's such an open-ended question because it really depends. It depends on a lot of things, you know. I guess I probably should have asked you more specifics. Like, do you mean self-installation? Do you mean installing on clients? Do you mean, you know, like in a shop, beauty salon? Because there's so many things about that and surrounding that that, you know, I don't really know. I could talk for ages about this. But basically, it boils down to, are you in a shop? Are you at home? You know, like, are you dry salon? You know, are you full salon, full service salon? You know, because let me tell you, it has taken me 30 minutes to do a crochet. And it has taken me 12 hours to do a crochet install. So it really just depends. What it does boil down to is quality versus time. And I feel like you need to meet somewhere in the middle. I feel like a good 4 hours is good. When I was working in the shop, I asked that when they come, their hair was free of any chemicals, even though I was going to wash it anyway, but free from any braids, anything, you know, a little ponytail or your hat, you know, come to the salon, cool. The salon that I was in was a full service salon, so, you know, of course with protocol you would have to wash their hair, you know, blow out their hair, you know, do all of that, because you can't start us out on a hair that hasn't been washed. That's just, you know, in state board licensing, that's, you know, what you have to do. But, you know, if you're a dry salon, then that's something a little different. So, of course, you have to allot time for that. I will say, for the majority of installs that I did in the shop with wash, with the dry, with braid down, with install of loose crochet hair, loose bolt crochet hair, not like locks, twists, something like that, but loose, individual hair, that time went from 4 hours to sometimes 6 hours. For a majority of the time, it was 4 hours. But there was those times that I had people who had extremely thick hair. Like, not the follicle being thick, like they had a lot of it. They had a lot of hair. And so that took a lot to braid down. And you don't want to rush through a braid down process, especially if you're working on a client. Now, again, that goes with, are you self-installing? You just doing this, you know, ain't nobody going to be in your head. You know how you're going to wear it. It doesn't have to be, you know, too versatile, because you know you're only going to wear your hair like this or like this, you know, versus doing it on a client where you got to give them options, you know, do they want options, you know, all of that. So really just depends. One of the things you can do if you are working on a client is you want to be sure that you consult with them first. You know, a consultation is very important when you're talking about styling hair. And I don't mean just like, you know, texting over the phone, like, you know, what style do you like? I mean, you really got to talk to them. You got to get to know them, see, you know, what they like, how you want to wear your hair. Like, or do you like to wear it up? Do you like to wear it down? Do you like to wear some up? Do you like to wear some down? Is your hair, is it natural? Is it relaxed? Is it, you know, is it damaged? Is, you know, is it short? What length is it? You know, all of that. And then you got to get in there and really like look at their head. Like, all right, is their hair really thick? Is this going to take a lot of time to braid down? Is their hair really short? Do we need to add braiding hair? You know, things like that. That's important to know before you go ahead with the install. And one of the reasons being is, of course, with scheduling your clients so you don't have somebody sitting there for hours waiting their turn. And for two, you want to be sure that you have your workstation prepared. You want to be prepared to you know, have everything that you need out, whether it's a rack to hold the strands. Is their hair really thick? Are you going to have to sew down the braid install? Do they plan on swimming a lot? They're going on vacation. You might want to, you know, sew down the braiding pattern instead of just leaving it. You know, I mean, there's so many different aspects to that in self-installation versus salon. So I'm not really sure which one I should be more specific on, Ms. Linda. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to hit all of them. So let me see, got my little notes here. Let me be sure I don't forget nothing. So one of the things you can do is pre-split the hair. I have a rack. Let me show you my rack. My little broke down rack. It's been through some things. I gotta give me another one, but hold on. Okay, so like this is my rack. This is my little rack. It's a little threading rack. Now they have these in the beauty supply store now, but back when I got mine in the sewing section. Like, it's actually like a threading rack for you to put your threads up there if you're sewing or whatever. But it works great when you're pre-splitting your hair, so that way you don't have to keep putting the needle down, pulling the hair apart, then trying to install it. Then you gotta pick up some, you know, that's a lot. That's a lot. That takes up a lot of time doing this. So go ahead and pre-splitting the hair and having it on a rack. Now you can pull these out and sit it on a table if you want to, or I have these little sticky things on here, like Velcro sticky type things. And wherever I install my crochet braids throughout my house, like I have one in my bathroom, well, one in each of my bathrooms where I stand and install my hair. I have one in my office where if I'm installing hair there, where I stick it on the wall so it's kind of out of the way and it's hanging and I can just grab hair as I need to. And so I just kind of plop it up there on the wall and it stays, and it works fabulously. You need one of these if you're crocheting. Doesn't matter if you're in a salon, doesn't matter if you're self-installing, these things help. Secondly, having, like I said, in addition to having the right tools, one of the things that I use, especially if you're doing seamless or illusion installs, is a back comb. This is my back comb. I got mine off of Amazon. It's on my Amazon storefront, so check that link out. And I think you could probably go to Amazon and search Shea Niche or something like that, and it'll come up. My storefront will come up. But I'll try to put the link in the description box below. But these back combs, they save a lot of time, because like I thought you can do regular teasing with a regular comb, and I mean you can, but it's a little bit more work. But this thing right here is a couple swipes and you good for real. Like I be doing extra, but it's not necessary. So get one of those, and of course clips, things like that to keep the hair out of the way while you're doing your braiding pattern. That always helps. So just be sure that you have all the tools that you need before installing, whether it's on yourself or a client. You want to be sure to have all of your tools right where you need them, so you're not going to look for something and stopping and going back and all of that, right? Okay, and so also some of the things that I do, if I don't necessarily do this if I'm doing my own hair, just because usually I'm not in a rush when I'm doing my own hair, and for two, it's harder for me to see. But if you are installing on a client, you can clearly see everything you need to see. They're right there, So I do my securing a roll at a time usually. Meaning, say for instance, if I am installing one roll, right? Instead of, you get the needle, put it through the braid, you latch in the hair, right? You pull it through, and then some people take their needle, they sit it down, and then they, get the little strands and like secure their knots, however they secure it, whether it's hairspray method or double knot method or flat iron method or whatever. Instead of doing that, what you would do is you get your needle, you install all the way through. Just install that whole thing and then secure it a row at a time. You wouldn't believe how much time that saves, but it does save a lot of time, because you're not constantly reaching for the needle or constantly reaching for the hairspray or constantly reaching for the curling iron, to pick up and down. You gotta stop what you're doing. If you have a process where you're just like doing done with that install, like done installing it, now let's go back in and secure it. It actually saves a lot of time. So also braiding patterns, making them simpler, that always helps. Now I can't say, if it's for a client, that I wouldn't necessarily, suggest this unless there's something that they specifically want and they understand what you're going to be doing. But I've definitely done this on my own head, where I'll do a half braidless style, meaning that I will do my little perimeter braid and I'll do the braids up top for my parting, and then the back I'll use a net. And I'll secure that net with the crochet hair, and I will crochet that shit all the way through. That saves me so much time, where I'm not having to braid down all of the back, and I'm not having to hide braids or anything like that. It is so fast. It's fast. So that's always an option when you're doing self-installation, or even if you have a client, but if the client's like your sister, cousin, friend, whatever, and like, hey, we ain't got enough time, let's save as much time as we can, that they're not finna get into some water or something like that, it's a dead of winter, whatever, then go for it. Also, talking with your client about what styles they want, because you don't want to have to do unnecessary things. For instance, when I'm doing my own hair, I know that, I'm a flipper. I like to flip my hair all around, all these different ways. So I know I need several different parts in my install, okay? But if you got a client that they only like middle parts, that's all they're ever gonna wear. They're never gonna flip to the side. Then why are you spending time creating an illusion part on the side? You don't, right? You're spacing out the hair, and then to make sure it's full, but it's not too full. And then that middle part is where you're going to spend your time making sure that illusion is flawless, because that's the only thing that anybody's ever going to see. So with that being said, that's going to save a lot of time. Like, you don't have to spend time creating illusions in all these different places. If you know that they're never going to wear their hair up, they're not a bond wearer, they just don't do it at all, then you don't have to worry about trying to create an illusion in the back. Or you don't have to waste time doing knotless in the back. You can just space that out just like you do everything else, and you focus on the top and where that stuff is going to be exposed at. Does that make sense? And that comes from consulting with your client, talking to them, seeing, what are your plans while you're doing this install? Are you going to be getting in the water? Are you going on vacation? Are you asleep? Are you a rough sleeper? Are you a sleeper? Are you a rough sleeper? Are you rough on your hair? Are you going to be able to moisturize your hair? Are you going to take care of this hair? Like, are you going to put it up at night? All of those questions are valid questions when you're doing your install. Do you like half up, half down? Do you wear ponytails? Do you prefer one side over the other? Do you like to flip different ways? So that way you can kind of base your braiding pattern around what styles that they're going to want to wear this crochet install in. And so that way you specifically address exactly what they want. Not only are you getting a better idea for what they want to get better results so that it's more enjoyable for them, but also you're going to save time because you're not doing unnecessary things. Lastly, of course, is making sure that you are spacing out the hair. There's nothing wrong with going back and filling hair in. What I mean by that is when I install my crochet braids, I usually install them 2 to 3 fingers apart depending on the type of hair it is. If I know that this is bigger hair, like bigger curls, so of course it's gonna make for a bigger install, then I'm gonna usually like separate it by like 3. Like I'll install a strand of hair, 3 fingers, then install another one. Not saying that it's gonna stay like that, but that's what you need to start out with. And then like once you get done, like of course that's excluding the part area, because the part area of course has to be filled in, but the rest of it you want to be sure that it's a natural density, unless they want big hair. For one, if they want big hair, then 1 to 2 finger lengths apart all through your install. Again, that goes with talking with the client. Do you like big hair? Do you like medium density hair? Do you want low density? You know, what are you comfortable with? And so when you do that, you're going to space it out. That's going to save you time because you're not going to be adding unnecessary hair. You're not going to, and then having to go back and cut that stuff back out and not having to calm it down at the end. If you have that information ahead of time, then you know how to approach the install. So you're gonna just space it out. And then if you get to the top, your parts are done and it still look like it's missing something, you grab you a clip, pin it up, and go back to filling some in until it gets to the desired look that you and the client like. And it's much easier to go back and like just add more hair than trying to figure out how to calm it down, how to figure out how to cut some out. Like that's double working. That's double working, and that definitely takes up unnecessary time. I mean, I think that's it. I mean, outside of time management, you know, the part that you can help, there's parts that's going to affect the time that's out of your control. Whether that's the density of the client's natural hair, their hair texture, you know, that, the size of their head, all of that definitely determines how much time it's going to take as well. I had a client, oh my gosh, she has so much hair, and I couldn't just take it and just cornrow that hair like I would somebody else's, because it would have looked like she had a helmet on her head. Her hair was so thick. Not only was the follicles themselves thick, she had a lot of hair. Like, it was a lot. And so I had to do smaller braids so that the braids wouldn't be so bulky. And not just that, I had to do an under braid because the bulk was just so big, you know, the actual braid. So I had to under braid it basically like a French braid so that that bulk would be underneath the hair and it would create more flatness at the top. So doing all that, then I turned around and sewed it down on top of that because she says that she sweats in her head. That's another valid question, that something that you want to ask. Do you sweat in your head? Like when you put a bonnet on at night, do you wake up? Are your roots wet? You know, whatever, because that creates slippage, and you don't want slippage when it comes to your cornrows, because if you do that, then the hair's getting, the cornrows getting loose, and then the install's gonna get loose, and it's gonna start looking raggedy. So, you know, that's something else you have to ask. So if that happens, then you know you got to sew it down. But you're not going to sew down everybody's install. Not everybody sweats in their head. I rarely sweat in my head. I never really have to sew down my stuff. So, you know, you don't want to have to do that for every single person. That's unnecessary, and it takes time. That's unnecessary time. So, you know, knowing all of that is super important. So like I said, know your client, know what you're dealing with, make sure that you have all the tools that you need. Prep work is key. Make sure that you have everything that you need, everything splitted, you know, stuff like that. I've even had somebody to bring me hair, you know, like a couple days before to be sure that I have everything that I need that was already splitted. So when she came, I was prepped and ready, and we got to it. Also, for me, talking, that takes a lot of time, because if I'm concentrating, most of the time what I would do is I had something in my ear and I just got to work, because you know, it takes a lot for you to have to stop and you looking at the phone, trying to braid when they want to try to show you something, you know, whatever. You know, talk to them, you know, ask how they're doing, you know, whatever, and then say, hey, well, I'm about to put this music in and we about to get to work. And they was like, okay, all right, you know, then they have their entertainment and you have yours in your ear, and just go. And so, like I said, most of them in the shop for me was 4 hours. Now, at home, when I'm fooling around, you know, I'm doing my girlfriend's hair, or I'm, you know, doing a friend's hair or something like that, or my mother-in-law, we laughing, oh, well, let me show you this, you know, and you got the kids, and oh, let's order a pizza, and y'all want a pizza, you know, like that, you know. And then when I'm doing my own hair, like I got half a braid right here, but then I'm on the computer, like looking at some other stuff, you know. I mean, that's just me. So, of course, that takes a long time when you're doing it that way. But like I said, if you are in one place and you got everything you need and you talk to them, you know what they want, it will save you a lot of time. So I hope that I answered your question, Ms. Linda. I really hope that I did. But if I didn't, or if you have additional questions, or if I didn't explain something right, get at me. You know where to get me. You got me before, girl. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Let's talk. So, I think that's it, you guys. Let me know how you like this video. Give it a big thumbs up. Please tell somebody about memberships and let them know that it's lit in here. Okay? Now, also I want to say, as far as memberships goes, like I know I promised I'm supposed to be doing lives, and I am going to do lives. This is actually not me this This is actually not me procrastinating. I don't know why I can't get it out. This is not me procrastinating this time. Memberships is in beta. Basically, it's this testing phase. So everything is not open like for mobile use. Like even when I create a video for memberships, I can upload it mobilely, but then in order to make it accessible for y'all, I have to go to my computer and do it. So going live, I can't, like I can go live on my phone, but when I do, I have to go live with a link. And then I have to take the link and post it on the community tab and post it where just y'all can see it, the memberships, and that's how you see it. It's a lot of work. It's not like, hey, I'm just gonna go live. No, it's a lot of work behind it. So that's why I haven't went live yet over here, because it's actually like trying to figure all that out. And Ms. Linda knows, she was trying to help me. It's a lot. But I still am planning on doing it. Hopefully it'll be out of beta soon and I'll be able to just say, hey, going live, members only, and you know, go for it. But it's definitely gonna happen. I have been doing some light vlogging. I'm trying to learn that vlogging life, and it's coming. But if you want to say anything specific, or if you have any questions, any requests, anything like that, y'all let me know in the comment section, and of course I will get to it. I am working on it. Fell a little behind because I got sick. That was one thing after another. Prepping for my husband's birthday. That was beautiful. It was a success. It was gorgeous. It was lovely. And then right after that, storms hit, tornadoes came through, power went out for days. Had to let the windows open. Everybody in my house has allergies. Pollen came in. Everybody got sick, including me. And you know, fever, urgent care. It's just been one thing after another, so I haven't been able to put out as many videos as I've been wanting to do, but I have been writing them down. I got my ideas, and we just sitting here doing it right now. Today I'm scheduled to do about 6 or 7 videos today. So know that this is not just my favorite dress or something. Just did it all in one day. Anyway, love you guys so much. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for signing up for memberships. Please stay around and tell a friend. So I love you guys so much. See you guys in my next video. Peace and blessings.